Hi folks, I want to get this Honda lawnmower back together now. I've got to refurbish the engine. I've got to take the carb off because we've got a running issue with the carb. It won't run on, is it full throttle? I don't think it runs on full throttle, so the carb's going to need to be cleaned. I've got all these ancillary parts to clean up, so let's get on with it. Well, there you go folks. If you remember in the last video, we refurbished this deck. This deck's now ready to go. I've done the handwriting underneath, so that's all protected as well now. So what I've got to do now is obviously to clean up these bits here. We've got the wheels, the axles, a few of the undershields. I've got to paint these black again, the covers and stuff, just to make it look a bit tidier. But the main feature is going to be the engine. Now, we know the engine runs sweet as a nut, but it's obviously very, very dirty, as you can see there. And it's got a running issue. So I'm going to need to take the carburetor off. So I'm going to strip this engine down now, gain access to the carb, give it a basic clean down, and then we'll service the carb on it. Right, so I've given the engine a bit of a basic clean down with some old stale petrol and blown it all off with the airline. I've got the carb off now, and as you know that this is the problem, which I've got to address for the running issue. But can you see the state of that, folks? Look at that, look. When's the last time that was maintained? So before I actually open this carb up and get inside, I want to clean all that old stuff out away from the outside. Because with carbs, folks, you've got to be ultra clean with these things, because got very tiny jets inside. So I normally just again agitate it with a bit of stale petrol just to get all this outside stuff away. Just makes life a lot easier when you're working on things as well, especially fine-tuned pieces of equipment like a carburetor. You'll find a lot of people don't go to this hassle. Well, it's not hassle really, it's all part of the job. And I'm a great believer of that anyone who knows how to maintain stuff understands that cleanliness when stripping something down is very, very important. So that's one of the main reasons that I do this. And it's not just cars, I do it with most stuff as well that you strip down and refurbish. Nothing worse than seeing someone refurbish a carb, like do the jets inside and all that, and put it back together and it's still got all this crap around the outside. You do tend to see that. But I know that if I was buying a second-hand mower and I saw all that crap around there and someone's claimed that they've serviced it, I would have sort of two thoughts whether to buy that mower or not, because I don't really believe what the person's saying. There's more to just changing oil and filters and stuff than for maintenance and just doing that sort of stuff. You've got to make it look like you've been there as well, you know. Builds people's confidence. Right, I'll blow that off now. Let's see where we are with this. Right, okay, let's have a little look. Wipe that liquid off of that bowl. So now, doesn't that look better to work on, folks? Look at that, look, nice and clean, don't mind handling it, and it's going to give me a lot better opportunity to service this carburetor correctly without worrying about all that crap getting inside the carb. So now we've done that, let's just have a little bit of a tidy up. Bring in our tray so we know what we're doing. So this was running, don't forget folks, so it just didn't run on high speed. So let's just take this float bowl off. I'm expecting the main jet to be clogged on this, to be honest with you. soon find out. Floating around the bottom there, if you can see that. So let's put that over there. Pull out the main pin for the float. Lift out the needle valve. We'll check that a bit later on. But what I'm hoping to find is the main jet in there. Hopefully might be blocked. Have to excuse me folks, I have to adjust the normal screwdriver because I can't find my other one. Needs a bit more width off it. Hold on, bear with me. Right, hopefully that'll do the job. Get it in there. There we go, yeah, perfect fit now. This has now become my new screwdriver for carbs. So let's take this main jet out. Sometimes they don't like dropping past them last few threads, folks. Sometimes what you have to do is to get a pick. I'll find one. Just behind it. And lever it forward while you're unscrewing. There we go. That's got it. Right, so that's the jet out. Now we've got the emulsion tube behind that as well, folks, so hopefully that should come out if you tap it. If not, you've got to give it a little push from the inside. There we go, that just dropped out. So now we've got that out, let's have a closer look at these jets. This is the main jet. Let's hold that up to the light. Well, it has got quite a good sized hole in it, although I can see a little bit of crap in there, so it will need cleaning. And we've also got the emulsion tube here. This is normally the cause of running issues at high speed. It seems to be pretty clear, but we will give that a good going over. So out with the carb spray. We'll take off that pipe. I hate these clips on there, they're never very good, these clips. Right, okay, that's the pipe off. I will just lift that gasket off actually. I don't want to damage it. So we have got another screw we need to take out there. This is for your pilot circuit, and underneath there, I've done many of videos on these carbs. So first of all, we'll take out the throttle stop screw. That doesn't do anything apart from just stop this lever from returning fully. And then that leaves this little pilot circuit there, which we take this cap off. Sometimes you'll have a jet in there, sometimes you'll have a plug screw like this one, for example, which does nothing, and the hole is in there. And what you want to basically do now is blow through all your orifices, ensure it's all clear. So let's break out the carb spray. Take that little nozzle off of there. Get the long one on there. There we go. And that pilot circuit is for slow running in there, so that should come out, where is it? This end, is it? It should come out of that one in there. Just starting to run now, there we go. If you've got a slow running issue, this is the one that normally blocks up that little circuit there, look, watch. Make sure that's running clear, which it is. Your main fuel intake comes out there, which is fine. And yes, I should have done it sooner, folks. You do not really want this stuff on your hands, because it gets into your pores of your skin and can cause all sorts of problems. So let's just give that a good clean down. Now, I've mentioned this many a time in my previous videos that carb spray is designed for cleaning carbs. That's what it's for. And you'll hear people say, yeah, but it makes the washers grow and the rubber rings and all that. Well, if you're servicing your carb properly, you're taking all them rubber rings and washers out. You know, you're not doing a partial job. So it's designed to clean this sort of stuff, and it's designed to break down the lacquer build-up that you get with stale petrol in carbs and in little oil, little fuel ways and stuff. So if you're just not doing it for the sake of doing it, like this for example, I'm leaving that washer in because that's a fibre washer. But you'll find quite a lot of carbs have got a rubber O-ring in there. Well, if that's a problem, hook it out. Take it out. Here, you see a bit of crap there, look. So I'm happy that this carb main body is clean. There we go. I'm happy with that. I'll give that a blowout in a second. Exactly the same with the emulsion tube. And I just use these little welding cleaning rods just to clean these holes out. There we go. Just make sure they're all clean. Whack the cleaning rods through them. Because this is a finely tuned piece of equipment to correctly get the right air and fuel mix for running on fast speed. This is where the mixing is done. You've also got smaller holes there as well. So give that a good clean out, folks. And then blow it out with air. And if some of the holes are too small for them bits, you can get these small drill bits here, which I don't use as a drill. I don't actually ream these out. All I do is basically make sure I can clean the holes out. Just stick them through there like that. And there's a block one. There you go. See, so some of these smaller ones were actually blocked. I didn't know that. Which could have been our issue. Yeah, and I can now see through them. There we go. See, I'm just pushing them through, folks. I'm not using it as a drill. I'm not making the holes any bigger because this is a finely tuned piece of equipment. There we go. So we did have them smaller ones was actually blocked, which they're now fine. I can prove that just by there we go. All coming out in different angles. That's perfect. There we go. That's fine. And the final one is the main jet. Look at these blinking gloves already, look. Gone already, look. That's fine now. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to take these gloves off now, folks. And just to prove that, let's put the carb spray through there like that. Now, can you see how much fuel actually comes out of there? This is a standard size jet. You'll get people ream these out to make them bigger, but look at that, look. That's a massive amount of fuel that's coming out of there. So you don't need to ream these main jets out, folks. Very, very rarely. The problem comes 9 times out of 10 with the emulsion tube and all the holes in there, because they provide the mixture with the air and the fuel mix that enters the actual combustion chamber. The main jet should never really need rimming out or reaming out, as what you'll hear people say, because a massive amount of fuel gets through that hole there. And if you overdo them, it could just seem like the thing's running on choke all the time because you bugger up the fuel to air ratio. Right, okay, so that's that. I'm going to put this back together now. You ain't got to see that, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, folks, got the carb back on now. That's all sorted. And one thing I want to say as well is that when you go to put your lid on, a lot of people will put a new air filter in, but they won't give no consideration to the lid. In here, that's where it actually sucks air in through these little vents there and into the actual air filter chamber there, as you can see. Now, I've just dug this one out. This was absolutely, totally full of crap in there. And a lot of people will just get the lid and put it straight back on, thinking they put a new filter on, that's fine. Make sure you clean your lid out as well, folks. Get all the crap out of there. And all I've done there is just agitate it and then get the airline on it and blow it all out. There was loads of crap in there, so just shows that you care. So this was the old air filter that come with it. As you know, someone's obviously made it. Lucky enough, I've got a new one somewhere. Here's one I prepared earlier. So let's get that in. You can actually date the back of the filter. Let's say, for example, what are we in now? June. June 22. There you go. So I know, or anyone else will know, that filter was changed and serviced in June 2022. Not only that, it also lets you know whether or not someone else has been in and changed the filter when they said they've done it and they haven't. It just lets you know if this ever come back to you and they've said they've had it serviced elsewhere and it was absolutely filthy, you can check the back of it and it's got your date on it. So just another little thing there you can pick up on. Right, so that's that. I'm just going to change the plug. Take them off now. So these take a BPR 6ES, or I've only got 5ES at the moment, so I'll be putting a BPR 5ES in it. Yeah, look, the plug's actually all right. It's just very sooty, probably due to a Blox air filter. So we're changing that anyway. And the spark plug gaps on these are normally 28 to 30 foul, folks. I'm going to just put that straight back in. They're normally gapped at the factory at that sort of size, but you can check it if you want. I've never have done, and I've never had any problems, to be honest with you. But I do always look at it to see that it's not been taken out of the box and someone's accidentally closed the gap up. So let's put that in there. Right, there we go. Put that cap back on. That's it, lovely. Right, so all I'm going to do now, I'm going to change the oil and let's bolt it back on the frame. So I forgot to film putting the engine back on, but here we are now, just getting these rear drive wheels back on. Nice simple job. And while I'm there, I might as well give me knob a polish. Oh, matron. Yeah, these are a little bit tricky, these back flaps, but you've got to get that spring in exactly the right place there. Okay, folks, I did get a bit carried away and I actually put it all back together without filming the whole process. But there we go, you've seen me put lawnmowers back together again before. Right, so all I'm doing now is just basically doing a bit of detailing and cleaning up, just to try and get it to the stage where it's going to be looking presentable. So this plastic cover here, I've just started cleaning. The ideal thing for that is a Scotch Brite pad and maybe something like a drop of methylated spirits or some sort of white spirits or whatever, and just go over it where there's all bits of dirt and grit on it. So this here had a load of paint that was spilled on it, and just by going over it with this thing, it just keys the surface up as well and gets rid of all them little bits. Now you can see how tarnished and sort of black this top bit is, and this is all quite important, this, folks, when you're coming to sell a probably more high-end type lawnmower like a Honda or a Hater or something like that, that you go to this extra mile to just make it a lot more presentable, because when you're asking sort of 200 plus for a mower, you want them to see that it's been sort of looked after and cleaned and whatever. So I just go to this extra extent just to clean up the plastics a bit, especially if they cover quite a lot of the engine like this one does. It's quite a big cowling on top there, and you'll always find when you dry them off afterwards they go all matte again and flat. And there's two ways round that. One, you can either polish them up, or you can add a surface preparation to them. I'll give you an example. Over here I've got this Pledge Revive It. I've shown you this on many of occasions, and you can either put this on with a cloth or you can put it on with a paintbrush. It's entirely up to you. I'll just show you. And all it does, it brings the surface back to life. Look at that, look. How about that, look? Yeah? And if you do this with WD-40, which you see a lot of people do, and it's okay, I've done it myself, WD-40 will sort of leave an oily residue on the surface. So when you start the lawnmower up, you'll get all bits of fluff and dirt stick to it. And for bits like these little areas in here, look, this is where I find a paintbrush is better to get into these little creases. So you can, again, just get a little paintbrush. Make sure that you decant it into a separate container rather than dip your paintbrush in the bottle, because you contaminate the bottle. And all you can do then, exactly the same, look, you can get into all these creases then, you see, with no issues. And it just makes it look a lot better. It makes it look like it's been cared for. As I say, you can put this stuff on, as I say, with a paintbrush. You've seen me do both ways now. Yeah, look, just sort of, you don't need a lot of it. You really don't need a lot of it. And we'll have a look, and we'll stand back in a minute and have a little look. And just see what it looks like. See, with the paintbrush, you can get in all the little creases, look. There you go. All around like that. All around there. Really thin coat. You don't need a thick coat at all. There we go. And once that dries, it will leave that sheen on there, you see. There you go. We'll just go over the blacks as well, in exactly the same way. The black plastics. See, that's the beauty of a paintbrush doing it, because you can get into all the little crevices, you see, look. There we go. One more dip. One more dip should do it. There we go. Now does that look compared to what it was before? Happy days. You could even go over the wheels of it, folks. Look. Just tidy up the wheels of it. Just gives it that better look, you know. It will wear off, obviously, but on the wheels it will anyway. But it just makes it look like it's a lot newer than what it is. So you've got that compared to sort of that. Again, another big item. And look, just brings it back to life. A lot better, isn't it? Right, I'll carry on doing that, folks, and I'll see you in a second. So there we go, folks. Looks a lot more presentable now. I'll just give the wheels a quick cover. Just tidies it up and make it shine a bit, especially when you're taking the photos. As I said, you can do it with WD-40, but the trouble with WD-40 is that when you go to start the lawnmower, all the little bits of particles that come out of the dust bag will stick to it and it looks terrible again. So this stuff actually dries and leaves that sheen on. It is actually a floor polish, so that's what it is. That's what I use. And I have got the grass bag here, and as you can see, it is in a bit of a state, but I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to remove it off of its frame. You can just pull these clips over and get the whole thing off. And we're going to try and put the inside in the washing machine. So I just pull the last clip off. There we go. And hopefully it should just slide off. There we go. So that's the frame. Put that to the side. There's the bag. And now I was going to put this in the bath and put some bleach in it, but Sharon says that will go in the washing machine. I don't know whether it will. It's got a plastic base, so it might wedge in there and just stay in that position. But I'll give that to Sharon. And there is a couple of little holes in it, as you can see there, look. And I'll just take a needle and thread and just sew that little hole up there. Sometimes you get them on the corners as well, but yeah, we'll put it in the washing machine. We'll give it a wash and see what that comes out like a bit later on. So we're now at the stage where I want to try and start it up and see if it runs. What have I done to it in the rebuild? I've sharpened and balanced the blade and also give it a coat of paint. I've changed the oil, I've changed the air filter. We've given the carb a really good clean out, as you saw in the video. We've painted the underside of the deck with hammerite. We've obviously stripped back and done the main deck. We've reconnected up the drive, because the drive of this one, as you may remember, was disconnected and we didn't know if there was a problem with it. Let's turn the fuel on and let's go for a start up. I think this had a running issue as well, so hopefully we've cleared it, but we've got to obviously probably make a couple of adjustments. See if it starts. Mine choked there, yep. I've got the plug cap on. Yeah, got to wait for fuel to get through to it, obviously, folks. Increasing a bit. If I push the lever right to its low position, it will cut out. That means the throttle stop on the carb wants adjusting. It sounds alright though. And to do that on one of these, you need a long screwdriver. Let's get my torch, hold on. Because the most stupid place they put the throttle stop screw is right in here, believe it or not. And that screwdriver's too long. Typical, isn't it? I know what I'll have to do. Bear with me. So in here, you've got to get a blinking screwdriver bit. It's a right stupid place for it to be, folks. Yep, I'm on it. Let's get it out. Let's try it again. Start on choke. Too much, folks. It wouldn't throttle down at all. So, a bit more adjustment. Take it off a bit. I did wind it in quite a bit, I must say. Bloody nuisance, these things. That's the only thing with these Hondas. I did wind it in a fair old bit. Let's try that. Let's try that. Nearly there, just a little bit more, folks. Maybe 1.5 turns back and that should do the job. That's it, right, so let's go. Another complete turn out, folks, that should do it. I'm hoping. Right, okay. Right, mind your hands, nothing laying under the deck. Take it away. Let's try this now, folks. Again, it's all fine tuning. That's better, look at that. Just a tad faster. Just a little tad faster. Half a turn, that's all it needs now. Come back, baby. We've got just a little half a turn to do, and that's it, then it should be set. Get your torch in there again. Right, like that, you got it? Mm-hmm. Let's try one more time, baby. Let's try one more time. Choke. Well, you're going to be pleased with that, folks. I'm well happy with that now. Runs a treat, absolute treat. Oh, Sharon's in here, as you can see, with the dogs.
Oh, baby.
Right, you're going to try and put that in the...
I don't think it's going to fit. I didn't realise that.
Well, it might go in at an angle, Shao.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter if it just sits in one place. But that is finished, folks. Right, so, there's our washing machine, folks. Empty at the moment. Will it go in there?
Ooh.
Oh, it falls in there.
I don't know. That's it.
Yeah, that's all right. Go on then, baby, whack that on. So it does go in our washing machine, folks. We've got quite a big door on our one, so it did go in. Just our normal run-of-the-mill.
Just give it a cool wash, we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want it shrinking, do we? 30 minutes will do, Shao.
No, centigrade.
40, go 40. 40's not all that hot. Still a cool wash under 40, isn't it? So there you go, folks. We'll just give that a cool wash. I thought them long screwdrivers was going to be ideal for getting in there, but it's got to be a right certain length, so I'll probably have to make a special one up. That has done the job. That is 2 long 1/4-inch extensions with a screwdriver bit in the end, a Phillips screwdriver bit. That gets in there fine. So if I use that as my template and get a long screwdriver, and probably like that, and I'd have to cut one down somehow and then put some sort of handle on it there. Because if it's too long, you can't get the turn in there to go in there. So I would imagine it's a special Honda tool or something like that, which they create for adjusting them screwdrivers, adjusting them throttle stop screws. Anyway, let's see what that comes out like when we fitted it after it's been washed. So I'll see you in about an hour. Right, folks, there she is, all back together with a grass bag on. It's come out of the spin dryer and it's totally dry now, so I'll put it straight back on. So as you can see, how much cleaner it is, folks. Here's another one there. As you can see, that was the colour it was. That's my other 16-inch one. So as you can see there and there, it's brought it up great. It's taken all the stains out of it. And it's actually a silvery white sort of colour. I thought they were white, but they're not. They're like a silvery colour. But look at the state of that one, look. All I would say is, though, make sure that you get all the dust and crap out of there before you put it in the washing machine, so that it's literally just the bag. So there you go. That's the difference with just putting it in the washing machine on a 40 wash with a normal washing machine tablet, folks. So let's give it one last test. Put the petrol on, choke on, handle up, fast speed. How's about that then? Purring like a kitten, folks. And the drive works. Nice strong drive on that. Lovely. Got to be happy with that, folks. Well, there we go. We've just turned that sort of 35 to 40 pounds Honda Izy, which we picked up, which was a non-runner. The drive was disconnected there. And we've refurbished the whole deck. We've powder coated the deck. We've sharpened and balanced the blade. We've painted the underneath. We've given it a full engine service. We've cleaned and sorted out the carb. We've put a new air filter in, new plug. We've also changed the pull cord as well. We've cleaned up the graphics, added new graphics to the front rather. We've cleaned up the plastics. And we've also washed and cleaned the grass bag as well. And we've turned that probably into a £250 lawnmower now. It is a self-drive one. These do command a lot of money, and I'm sure this is going to go on and serve someone for a good few years yet. Anyway, thanks very much, folks. Don't forget, if you do like these sort of videos, check out my lawnmower repair playlist, where I've repaired and customised all different types of lawnmowers. We've also got car repairs, which we do on this channel, and also motorcycle repairs and other stuff like that as well. Plenty for you there to look at. There's loads of playlists set up on my channel. Anyway, those of you who have left a super thanks for us, that's the button just below the video, folks. It's got a thanks button there, and people like to sometimes just give us a little buy us a pint or whatever, or buy us a cup of coffee if the videos that I've produced have helped you out in any way. And I just got a couple of people who to say thank you to. We got thanks to Andrew Morley, Stephen Byrne and Stephen H have all left us a super thanks, and it's well appreciated, mostly appreciated, folks, because as you can imagine, producing these videos and buying all the equipment and stuff does take a lot of time and money, and it does help to have these little chats and super thanks for us. Anyway, thanks very much, folks. We'll see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.